Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully, you are stay in health and also you have a good fasting Ramadan. Yeah. So today we will meet again in this session. Yeah, we will continue our discussion and we will elaborate the issue the topics about the next topic in the computer science philosophy, especially we will discuss about the computationalisms or algorithms. Yeah, so this is like we will try to discuss and elaborate what is the logical mindset and also what actually in the frame about the algorithms, especially. Yeah, and I think you and also myself is already agree that the heart of computer science is actually in algorithms. Yeah. So with I believe also that you maybe you already I think, and then you already explored that the algorithm is not it sometimes is very easy, it's very simple, but sometimes is very complex. Yeah. So that's why in the algorithm, we will also know about the concept of the computability, the complexity, and other concepts. Yeah. So actually, when we discuss about the the I'm sorry, about the algorithms and also about the computationalisms, actually we not only just discuss about how we create some step or processes that want to solve some processes in the to solve some problem or do some tasks, yeah, that implemented on the algorithms or processes. But actually, when we think about the algorithms, it is very is more than that. Yeah. So that's why today we will discuss in the frame of the in the big frame on the computer philosophy, especially in the philosophy itself. Yeah. So that's why today I will discuss with you about it, and then let's start the discussion with this presentations. Yeah. So I will start our journey, our discussion with this slide. Yeah, yeah. This is like the summary that we want to discuss later on. Yeah. So in here we can see that it states that computalism is cognition is computable. Yeah. So you can see this one. This it is the computalisms is computationalism is not only the capability to do some computable things here, but the most important thing is you can see in here is cognition is computable. So when we talk about the cognition is the result of the mining processes. Yeah. So you think something that difficult to solve, and then you try to discover the component that might be potential to have some contribution to solve the problem, and then you arrange all that as variable, and then you set a variable into some sequence to process in the computation processes, and then you will have the algorithms. So the algorithm in this point of view is not only just the product of the computer science, but this is the product of the mindset. Yeah, the product of how we want to solve something, yeah, that we believe it will be solved by our logical thinking. So we try to make some realizations or some something that not abstract to do, and then it can be execute, and then it become the cognitions. Yeah. So that's why in here, so we can say that the cognition is computable. Yeah. So when we discuss only in this one word, actually we will discuss a long day, I think. Yeah. So for example, let's say when you use some application today, let's say the very simple application we think is simple, yeah, like Gojek, for example. You order the food using the GoFood features. So when you think about it, actually, how we order the food and then we get the food and then how the food is delivered to us, it's not only just about how we order the food, and then the Gojek will be ask the driver to pick up our food. That the driver will be pay first into the merchants and then bring the food. And then, of course, after that, we can pay using the GoPay or maybe fresh, fresh money in cash, for example. So it is not only just as simple as that, yeah, but it is like the applications is divine us to do something in that way, yeah, in the way of the applications. So in here we can see that the application or the application which is inside the application, we have the source code. Inside the source code there is algorithm in there, actually bring the cognitions, yeah, bring some logical thinking on it, yeah. So that's why in here you can see that how when we want to take a look more about it, you can see that if we do or we use this application in every day and in daily activity, and I think, let's say, like children now is very familiar using that one, yeah. So we just need to teach them that, but they can directly to use that one. Why it can be like that one? Because actually the applications will define our daily behaviors. So that's mean the cognition in there, yeah. So please be careful about it, yeah. Be careful, I think, not on the state of you need to afraid or something, but you can see in here, this is how the philosophy work actually. It actually is not only just in the algorithms or in this application, but it's also work in every product in this world, yeah. For example, when you have, for example, the smartphone, it's also define you the way how you to communicate with our friend, with our parents, with our colleagues, or maybe with another persons, yeah. So that will be the challenge actually, how the technology, how the algorithm, how the cognition will be changed the world, the change how the people mind, yeah. So that will be one point that we want to discuss, why we say that computationalism is cognition is computable, yeah. So when we take a look about more deep about it, we can see this one: mental processes can be the result of algorithmic procedure, yeah. So this is the actually the word that I want to say when illustrate with for you when we're using the applications, yeah. Because yeah, the mental process, which is behaviors, our thinking about something, will be the result of algorithmic procedures here. So let's say when we choose, we want to buy some food for breaking our fasting, yeah, activity in Ramadan, for example. You open the GoFood application or GrabFood application. Maybe 5 or 10 years ago, when you take a look some food, you will see about the the ingredients and the taste and so on. But now we cannot do that one. So what you take a look, you will take a look the discount. You will take a look the distance between the merchant with your home, for example. How far is it? Is there any promotion discount and so on? So it will be make you something, bring you in a new new mental behavior when you want to buy some food. So that will be do. So that's why when you, for example, you see the YouTube channel that discuss about the computer science, one of them say that the algorithmic will be change the behavior, and in the end will be change the world, yeah. So that will be very important to you need to know about it, and then you can see the reflection on it, yeah. So that will be the nice one. And that can be affected by emotion, attitude, and individual histories, yeah. So that will be the nice one. So yeah, the computer itself is implement the cognitive procedures, yeah. Actually, in the computer, most of the procedure, it will be formed in the cognitive way. So that's why really exhibit those mental processes, yeah. So they try this cognitive procedure. Will be implementing the the logical thinking, the realizations, and then some of the concept that we has discussed before it. Yeah. So that's why the computer can process minds. Yeah. So that will be interesting. And then of course the synthetic semantic explain how all this is possible. Yeah. So that will be actually in the frame that we want to discuss today. Yeah? So why the algorithms, the algorithmic procedures, it become cognitive, and then the cognitive will be make some computalisms, and then the cognition will be computable, and then in the end will be change the mental processes that we can see in the real world. Yeah. So that's that is the nice one. We can see, I think today in the term of the AI, the artificial intelligence. Yeah. Yeah. So when we discuss the AI in this computer philosophy, okay, we agree that artificial intelligence is one of the technology, the cutting edge and the very updated technology that we use for help us to make a more better decision making, to do some advanced analytic and so on. But when we think about the AI, actually, in the word of the point of view of computer philosophy, the AI is not AI actually. There is no artificial. That is not about the intelligence actually, but this is about the artificial that we want to say in the AI. Actually, in the philosophy is computational theories. Yeah. So we say it is artificial because yeah, that's the common word that we understand now. But actually, when we think again, it's only as computational. Yeah, the advanced computational. For example, let's say the artificial is about the how we model. We make a model about the prediction of weathers. Yeah, we make a model for prediction of the COVID-19 spread in the futures and so on. But the model itself, to develop the model, we do the computational actually. Yes. Let's say we can say that using the deep learning, we're using the machine learning, then and all the algorithm inside that two method, for example, that's all computational actually. Yeah, you can mention it, CNN, convolutional neural network, the convolutional neural network. Yeah, and then you have other RNN or other things. In the machine learning, you do the k-means, clustering, yeah, and then naive Bayes. In the simulation things, we do the Monte Carlo and so on. But all of this is about computationals. When I take a look about in data center, for example, we're using also some method, yeah, to do some load balancing about the huge load of traffic that came across the data centers. And what we do is not the artificial actually, we do the computationals, yeah, something that we think that would be fair enough to handle the load, yeah. So that's the computationals. Why? Because it's mathematics. Because it's very simple. It's mathematics, and you can model it based on this one. So that's why computational theory in there. Yeah. But I will not again about the word of using the artificial. It's okay. It's good enough. I think it's the updated word for this decade. Yeah. When we think about the computational, but as computer science, I think there is no artificial. There is computational, the advanced computational theory. Yeah. So it also happened with the intelligence. Yeah. The intelligence is the product of the mind. Yeah. The product of we try to reconstruct the future that we want in the future. Something like that. Yeah. So that's why it's cognitions. In Indonesian word, it's buah pikir. Yeah. Which is like common sense of our mind when we already observe all the knowledge around us. So that's why the better name is computational cognitions. Yeah. So that's all the cognitions. Yeah. So that would be the foundation when we want to see the computationalisms. What we can learn from this slide actually is about yes, actually. What we want to say this is artificial intelligence. Even like in my research area is about the cloud technology, for example. It's also same things, yeah. Cloud computing, yeah. The cloud itself is actually cognitions, yeah. It's not something new. It is only cognition. It is how we deliver the services in the form of cloud, yeah, on top of internet actually, yeah. So that will mean the cognition. And the computing itself, the cloud computing, we have a the compute engine and so on. Actually, this computational, of course, also, yeah. So that will be the next one. So yeah, I think the computational cognition is also same, yeah. When we talk about big data, yeah, big data process, for example, I think the big data is also its definition is about the cognitions, yeah. How we define the big data. It's about the volume, variety, velocity, veracity, and value, for example. Yeah, this is about cognition. This is consensus between me, between the researcher, between industry about the big data characteristics. But when we do the big data architecture processes, it's about computationals. That's why we know the Hadoop distributed file system. We know about MapReduce and etc. Yeah, so that would be the computational cognitions. Yeah. So you can see this one. Actually, when we discuss about it, actually, it's not hard to learn all the things in the computer science if we have this philosophy, because all the things about in the frame of computational cognition. But what I want to advise with you is don't be skeptics. It means, oh, I think if our assumption is like this one, actually there is no artificial intelligence, there is no cloud computing, there is no big data, yeah. Yeah, in the term of the philosophy, actually, it's just word, yeah. It's just word. It is the advanced word, the modern word that we want to say. So, and then the people will be, interesting to learn more about it, yeah. But when you can say that this is computational cognition, I think the people will be feel strange, yeah. What is it? It's not interesting, something like that, yeah. So that's why it's very important to you to know about this. But for you as computer science engineers or computer science student now, and in the future you are a computer science scientist, you need to understand this philosophy. Yeah, just keep in your mind, just keep in your heart that all is about the computational cognition. If we have this word, I think even there is any approach or maybe problem that you need to solve, actually there is solution, which is using the computational and using the cognitions. Yeah, that's actually what we want to say. Yeah. So when we do this one is computationalisms. When we see this one in the computationalisms, is there is the character, the isms, the ism word. Yeah, it is reflected as in the is. Yeah, if we can see in this presentation, computationalism is cognition, is computations. Yeah, so yeah, this is like the frame how we see the computationalisms. Don't say that computationalism is like your faith. Yeah, not like that one. This is only how we think about some things. Yeah, it is related with the some of the some idea that it has introduced by the very famous researcher like Hobbes, McCulloch, Putnam, Porter, Pelicillin, and etc. They say that computation is interesting and worth exploring and possible true. Yeah, so that between the words. Yeah, and so that's why we need to think that not all the aspect, not the things is always computational. Yeah, so that's why we should know, yeah, how we placing the computational in the right place. Yeah, so that would be the most important things. So this is like the coverage of the cognition. Even myself is as preliminary definition. When we talk about the cognition, it's not only just the list, yeah, in the list, yeah, but to start to understanding of what is the cognition. Yeah, cognition is about believing something. Yeah, so you believe with some things. Yeah, for example, when I want to run today, I'm in the lab. Yeah, I want to run some experiment using my big data architectures. I believe that it can be done by the big data architecture that I developed. Yeah, that's about the belief. Yeah, yeah. So that's why it's very important to start the cognition is about this one. So that's why, for example, today I will work with my ROG, with Core i7, and then I have about 32 gigabyte RAM, for example, to run about 53 gigabyte of data. Yeah, so based on that, I will calculate. I believe it will be finished when I run from 9 o'clock, and then we finish at 1 EM, I think. Yeah, so that's my belief. So if I get the belief, so I will think about what kind of algorithm that can be finished that job, and what enhancement that I need to do with that algorithm to finish realizing my belief about the time of computations. Yeah, so that will be the believing. That's the mean of believing. And then the second is consequences. Yeah, so we need to understand that there is any consciousness, yeah, about it. Yeah, and then the emotion. Yeah, this is about the emotion too. This is like also is cognition. Yeah, feels happy, sad, and then etc. So let's say in the, for example, we jump to another topics here. For example, like in the sentiment analysis, yeah, in the social media sentiment analysis, for example, what you get, you have positive sentiment, negative sentiment, neutral, or maybe you have another criteria. So it's just like reflecting the classification of emotion actually. Yeah, so that's why it's cognition. Yeah, and then language, yeah, learnings, memory, yeah, and then also the perceptions, yeah, planning, problem solving that I mentioned in the early. I'm very interesting in this point actually. When we do the computation and cognition to solve the problem that exists in the community, for example, it will be very, you know, it's very advanced and very challenging for us as scientists. Yeah, and reasoning, and then representations, sensation, and thoughts. Yeah, so that will be the cognition things that we need to know. Yeah, and the algorithm is what itself as informal notation is like, you know, is algorithm is for execute something. Yeah, in here is E. Yeah, for example, to accomplish goals. Yeah, so we do something that we want. If we have some of the tasks, yeah, several tasks, maybe 1, 2, 3 tasks, and then we have a goals. So we like to arrange, yeah, the tasks in the some order that will be finished in the goals. So that will be the algorithms. Yeah. So that's very simple. Yeah. This is like how we arrange some executions to achieve the goals. Yeah. To finish the goals. Of course, to finish the goal is not only the first objective is to finish the goals, of course. Yeah. The second is about the time, yeah, performance of time, and the resources that gets consumed by the algorithm, and so and etc. But not only just execute actually, because the algorithm itself is not only just ordering the execution, but also ordering the execution using the procedures. Yeah. So that's why in the algorithm we found statement, roles, and instructions. Yeah. Why it's very important? Because it will be make some consideration about in every step or every task. The task is cannot only just execute, yeah, like switch on or off, yeah, but we need to take a look about the statement of the execution. We need to take a look the role of execution. We need to know about the role of instructions in the execution. So each of statement, role, instruction, yeah, it will be give some consideration or some circumstances. Yeah. So let's say we can add some finite time, yeah, to ensure that the execution is complete, yeah, for example. So that's why, for example, that's why when you learn about the network, yeah, computer network, you will familiar with the term of the TTL, time to live. Yeah, it is like execution algorithm, how we deliver a message in the appropriate time that we has defined before. For example, in the 4 seconds, for example. But if after the 4 seconds the message not accepted by the the node, it's mean the message is failed to send. So that's within the finite time. Yeah, it is the finite time. It's like time how we know that the execution is done or not. Yeah, based on the time. Yeah, so that will be the next things. Yeah. So that's why we will have a halt, yeah. So this is like some of the time that we need to execute the tasks as every executions, and then of course we will have what the accomplishment of the T, yeah, as the algorithms. So this is like the frame how we see the algorithms. The algorithm is not only just a list of source code, but it's also there is source code, but in the source code there is any statement, rule, and instructions, and also the execution of the tasks that to achieve a code. That will be the next one. When we take a look about it, actually our journey, especially your journey when you join the international undergraduate program in computer science, actually is algorithm too, yeah, because you have execution plan, you also have the statement, you also have the roles, you also have instruction, and the most important thing, you also have the finite time, yeah, so that you have your algorithms. So if you want to finish the code, you need to set up as algorithms, yeah, yeah. In the very very wide range of philosophy, for example, our life in the world is also is algorithms. We need to set our goals, yeah. I want to joining the surga even or otherwise I want to finish a husnul khotimah, for example. So I divide it into some executions, yeah. So that's why today we are fasting. We also pray to the God, for example, and then we do some good things. We pray. We read the Quran, and then we also do some solat and so on. So that will be the statement, rule, and instruction. And then every execution have their own execution time. Yeah, when we need to go to Makkah, how we married, when we need to marry, and so on. So that is about it. Yeah. So when we talk about it, you can see in here. So it's like, yeah, algorithm is like, I think it's like the way of life. Yeah. When we say about the religion, I believe another religion like in the Christians, Catholics, Hindus, Buddhists, and so on. It's also same, I think. Yeah. It also have their own algorithm. So that's why. So that's why I think I think sometimes we think that it's very strange here. Why people hate each others and then try to hating another religions? Yeah, this is not, it's not logical, because all the religion is all about on the algorithm. They already have their own goals. They also have their own executions. They also have the statement, rule, instruction, and so that's why we need to honor that one. So we cannot say that the algorithm of the project is bad, the algorithm of the Grab is bad, but the most important thing is finish the job. Yeah, so that will be the nice one. uh, as lecturer, I can also say that, okay, your algorithm for finishing your study in IUP program is bad. It's better is for example, the student, another student. I cannot say that one, because every student will have their own algorithms. So that's the means of algorithms. So yeah, of course, because this is algorithms, I think as computer science, we already know some algorithm. Yeah, it's not always about the success algorithm. Sometimes it's fail, something is a bug, have a bug, and so on. So that's the cool things about the algorithm. We permit it to do something wrong, and then we try to do the better in the previously. Yeah, so that will be the challenge for you. Yeah, and of course, there is any some of the philosophy in every every major computer scientist previously say about this algorithm. What's the effective algorithms? Yeah, when we see the church is left undefined. Yeah, he's not defined well. Yeah, but Rosser say that each step is precisely determined. Yeah? So it's mean we have very well planned executions, yeah? Well designed execution, because he say that each step is precisely determined. Yeah, and the method produce an answer. So it's not only just step, but also the step that can produce the answer, how we solve, how we achieve the goals. Yeah, and infinite number of steps. Yeah, so that would be the Rosser way to think about the effective. Yeah, so Yeah, I don't know. Everybody have their own style. For example, maybe if you're Muslim, I think I don't know. Maybe every 1 hour you will read Quran, for example. But I have my own style. For example, I'm most like in the night I will spend a long time to finish my target as to read the Quran, for example. So that will be the effective way for me. But the effective way to view is different. When you study, for example, for study like in the computer science to update the material for courses and so on, I most likely using the after subuh time to update the materials, yeah, because in that time I have a more effective way, yeah, so I can prepare more clearly. For example, for you maybe different. You might be, oh no sir, I think my study time is about yeah, some specific time, for example. It's okay, yeah. So that would be the nice one. I have also a friend as a lecturer too, not in this university. He said that me, Mariani, my effective time is I can prepare my courses after I play a game. So he will spare for 30 minutes before he do the job is playing the game, and after that he will work with their own work, yeah. And then that's the effective. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's about the algorithm. So you cannot say that your way is the best way. It's not like that one, yeah. And then the next is Markov. Yeah. Markov is say that about the process produces answer. So it's mean like he want to ensure that all the method, all the process, all the execution is will be solve some problems. Yeah. It's also same clean. Clean is the effective procedure is also same with algorithms, and not all operation can be done exactly infinite time. So it's about the time manners. Yeah. So if you say to me, if you promise me, okay, Pak Mardhani, I will finish the job in 1 hour. So the 1 hour is the finite time. If you can finish the job in 1 hour, it's mean you have exactly good understanding about effective algorithms. Yeah. So that will be the nice one. Yeah. Yeah. And we go to the next. Wait. So in the formal notations, yeah. So this is like you know, the definition that more formal that we use in the computer science, yeah. Yeah, algorithm is formally, yeah. So algorithm is logically equivalent to Turing machines, yeah, the Turing machines, yeah. So when we see the church Turing thesis, yeah, algorithm informal is same with the algorithm formals, yeah. So that will be one of the conclusion in this thesis. And then what we get from here is the computable is tax or goal or fits of study of G of goals is computable if, yeah, the algorithms is formal for G, yeah. So that would be the nice one. So that in here we can see that some step or some executions, it can be computable if formals, yeah. So let's say you can finish your job, you can finish your study if you take the course that formal. You cannot just for example, this semester I joined a course, but unfortunately not list in my KRS. Yeah, unfortunately that course, it can be accepted as formals. So the mark, the score that you have in that class on the course, it cannot be inserted in your transcript, for example. So that the logical, yeah, about it. You can do a lot of things, a lot of activities, but if you do some activity not formal, it will be not accomplishing your goals, not achieving your goals. That will be the problems. Yeah. So that's you need to understand. Yeah. So that's why the cognition is the computalism is not always the equal with the cognition is computation, but the computability. Yeah. So that would be then the nice one. Yeah. So in here, the right definition is back to the summary. Yeah. Computationalism is cognition is computables. Yeah, because the algorithms that compute cognitive functions. Yeah. So yeah, of course, yeah, we existing the computational cognitive science on it. Yeah, that we have some research question about how much of cognition is computable, how much cognition is computable. Yeah, how much that the way of our thinking we can be implemented in the computations. Yeah, so working assumption of computation cognitive science is all cognition is computable, of course. Yeah, so all the thing that we can say as logical, yeah, its mean is computation, is cognition, its mean is computable. Yeah, so that's will be the conclusion. So yeah, we have some other assumption. Of course, this frame is also have some response from another researcher, then another researcher can give some, you know, some another's, you know, another perspective. Yeah. In here, they can see that the implementational implication of this one, if cognition is computable, then anything that implements cognitive computation would be cognitive. Yeah. So even if human don't do it that way, yeah, based on the Piaget neural spike trains are not representable as digit strings. It's not computational, but function whose OP they produce are not computable. Yeah. So human cognition is computable, but not compute. Yeah. So that will be the things. Yeah. You need to maybe think deep. Yeah. Not instantly understand anything about it. You need to know, but this is human cognition is computable. Yeah. It's computable, but not compute. Yeah. It's mean it's the human cognition is not the result, but the process. Yeah. So that will be the the core main of this you know this thinking. Yeah. So there is two view of cognitive science. Yeah. Yeah. So the first is how do humans cognize. Yeah. Yeah. So this will be might not be computationality, but can abstract away from the specifically human to a more general issue. But how is cognition possible? Might be computable. Yeah. So that will be the point of view of cognitive science. Yeah. I think this cognitive science is very, you know, wide range now and develop very fast. Yeah, because they more forward than us. I think. Yeah. So just they think not only just about the computationality, it just function, but computable or not is something that it can be done or not, something like that. Let's say like you have you have a question, for example from your friend. uh, do you think that you will be uh, studyable in the computer science, for example? Yeah, in your mind, yes, it can. If you say it can, it means you will arrange some execution plan that will be algorithm. Yeah. So that will be the difference is about computables. Yeah. If you think about the computationality, you will take a look your spec. I think. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not really confident about it because my math in high school is only 5, for example. Yeah. Uh, this this idea actually happened to me. Yeah. My bachelor is at accounting. Yeah. So when I decide to move to something in the engineering and scientists, what the first thing about me is number one is about computationality, but function. It's my spec as accountant, as accounting. It can be success in the computer science or electrical engineering, for example. In the first in the first time that I decided that one, that's the most question the most question that occurs in my mind. Yeah, it make me, you know, not confident so in the first place. But when I discussed with some of the college, and then I have some input, he said to me that, Mardhani, if you think the computer science or every science is cognition, actually you can finish to study that one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your background and so on. So it's mean computable or not. Because if we think computable, even we doesn't have any baseline, that a good qualified baseline, you will think about how you make yourself and prepare yourself to be a person that can be do some computables. We can do some things. We can study in the computer science. We can do our own experience. we do the trial error and so on. So that's why we can have the computables. So that's the means, yeah. So in my point of view, every student is computables. They can do all the tasks that we have decided, because we define all the tasks. We define the mid sem, the final sem. You will finish. Don't be afraid that you think that your lecture will be give the question on your, let's say, in your mid sem or final sem. It's very hard to solve. No, they will give all the question is based on the assumption that you are computable. You can finish that question based on your point of view. Yeah, that's the most important thing actually. Yeah. And I think if you believe that in that things, it is very. I think there is no difficulty to finish all the job that you has planned. Yeah. So that's why cognition is computations. Yeah. And then the cognition is computable. Yeah. So that will be between the difference. Yeah. So in the cognition science, it is still on the debate on it. Yeah. But that's the nice word. Yeah. So there is the good point from the Turing. Yeah, the Turing say that the use of word and general educated opinion will alter so much that one will be able to speak of machine thinking without expecting to be contradicted. Yeah. So in here, general educated opinions is when we abstract and generalize. Yeah. And the use of word is changed when referensive. Yeah. Word initial is narrow application and more abstract is general phenomena. Yeah. So that will be the nice one. Yeah. So that will be some of the illustration how we can identify the cognition itself. Yeah. So yeah, when we talk about the cognitions, yeah. So it will be we need to know about the theory that underlying the computationalisms, yeah, which is syntactic semantics, yeah. Yeah. So how we understand about it? The first is we need to know that cognition is internal, yeah. So cognitive agents have direct access only to internal representative of external objects, yeah. Yeah, it's mean we have the direct access. Yeah. So in here, the cognition is internal for you. Yeah, not for me. Yeah, because the cognition is about your talk, your talk with yourself, with your mind, and so on. So that will be the the things about it. Yeah. And then the semantic is syntactic. Yeah, it's based on the words meaning and semantic relation between them are all syntactic items. Yeah. So that will be the definition of the semantic. Yeah. And then understanding is recursive. Yeah. Understanding is recursive. Yeah. For recursive case, we understand one thing in the term of another that must be already be understood. Yeah. But this case, we understand something in term of itself is syntactic understandings. Yeah. So in here, that understanding is recursive. Yeah. So yeah, for example, if you want to let's say understand about something that something that knowledge that we want to know, if we read some book, for example, we want to understand we want to get the point of the something like this one, the lecturing activities. It's very hard to understand about in the first place. Yeah, because we have the cognition capability. You need to like compromise what I talk, what I want to share with you, and then you have your own your idea actually. and then we need to compromise with that. So that's why the cognition is internal. It is like internal activity between the new knowledge with your own knowledge, and then you try to figure out and accept in the some level between your baseline knowledge and then the new knowledge. So that's why it will be recursive. Sometimes we not directly accepted the new knowledge here, but after sometimes you will find some, you know, some, for example, some new case that make you accepted that new knowledge. Yeah, so that will be nice too. Yeah, so that's the cool thing about the cognition. We in that moment we like rejected that new knowledge, but actually not pure rejected. We only just keep, and then we will realize after some event happens, yeah, that related with that issue. Yeah, I think all of you have that situations. Yeah, yeah. So sometimes, like when I, for example, when I study abroad, I have a lot of information that I not realize that will be work in Indonesia, for example, in my research today. And then when I observe, I try to dive into my research today, I found some phenomena that I realized that actually has been explained before. That in that time I rejected that knowledge, but after I faced by myself what happened, I realized that being a new knowledge for me. So that would be the another example how the understanding is recursive. So I agree the nice word that say that if you find you hear a new knowledge, don't reject it. Just realize it. Even you not accept it, but after that, based on your next journey, you will find your realization is accepted or not. Yeah, so that will be in the cool things. Yeah, so you will have a lifelong learning actually when you have that the way of thinking. Yeah, and then so of course the internalism is very important. Yeah, internalism is like, yeah, like I say, this is like you know, acceptance period, acceptance processes to ourselves. Yeah, but in here the cognitive agent have direct access only to internal representative to external object. Yeah, so in here, based on the second of a cognitive agent understand the world by pushing the world into the mind. Yeah, so pushing the world into the mind. Yeah, so in here that we realize that if we want to have a new knowledge, actually the source of new knowledge in the world. Yeah, so that's why we open the book, we open the internet, we ask the expert, we hear in the seminar, we join the webinar, and we read the paper, the journal, and so on. We watch the television. It is like something like that one. Yeah. So both word and their meaning, including external object, are represented internally in single lot. Yeah. In the human, they already say that about the biological neural networks. Yeah. Adrian said that nervous system transduce different physical stimuli into a common internal mediums. Yeah. So that's mean of this one. Yeah. So that's why in the computer we have the artificial neural network, a symbolic knowledge representation, and reasoning system. Yeah, so that will be the internalisms. Yeah, philosophy that implemented in the some of the component in the computer science. Yeah, and if is there any some of the also you know, some argument from the previous researchers? Yeah, let's say Hume say that argument from double visions. Yeah, from the Kant, noumena versus phenomena, and then from the Ayers is argument from illusion. Further, anti-Putnam is methodological solipsism and also individualisms. Yeah, and penicillin is said about output of sensory transducers is the only contact the cognitive system ever has with the environment. Yeah, and Changizi argument from time delay in perception. Yeah, so there is a lot of definition and, you know, point of view about these internalisms. Yeah, but I think based on all this word is I still keep the intersection that this is like you know, some internalism like that I said before. This is like recognition or negotiation between the new things with the other things that not same with us. Yeah, so that will be the nice one. So you can imagine, yeah, let's say when we go through to the social issue in our country or in the world, yeah, we have a lot of conflict, a lot of different argument, different perception about one issue, and what happened. It become as a war, became as hits each other. But if we have this philosophy, I think the debate will be good. Yeah, the things will be the things that nice one. Yeah. And then we also have this principle, yeah, internalisms is syntacticisms, yeah. It says that it is existing of words, meaning, and semantic relations between them all is synthetic, yeah. When we talk about syntax, is study of relations among member of single set, yeah. So this is like a relationship study, yeah. So you can imagine that one, yeah. And the semantic is study of relation between member of two sets, yeah. So that will be the semantics, yeah. So that will be difference, yeah. So this in here pushing means into same set of symbol for them allow semantic to be done syntactically, yeah. So turn semantic relation between two set, even this is internal sign or external meaning, into syntactic relation among the mark of single internal logs, yeah. So the symbol manipulating computer can do semantic by doing the syntax, yeah. So that's actually behind the word of syntax in the computer science, yeah, and semantic if you also know about it, yeah. And so that would be the nice one, yeah. And so that's why the syntactic semantic is we can found on the example on the semantic web, yeah. And so it's also about the the synthetic info on web page, yeah, that gain meaning from some things, yeah. So from the core of knowledge, yeah. In here, synthetic info is consists of metadata, yeah, in the RDF or HTML source file, and metadata will be annotated web page, yeah. This is information that annotated the web page data, and then metadata will be provide semantic interpretation of web page data. So based on the metadata, we will know what exactly the web data things, yeah. So that would be the one. And then the understanding is recursive is recursive cases is we understand a semantic domain, yeah, indirectly by interpreting it in the term of semantic domain, yeah. So that will be the next one. And then of course it will be a will be a recursive, yeah, and then iterative way to understand about the situation. The situation, what I mean is semantic domain, yeah. So and then the best case is a domain that is understood directly, yeah, it's not antecedently, yeah, in the term of itself and synthetically, holistically also, yeah. So that's why a syntactic understanding is the meaning of internal states, which may or may not be linked to internal state of affair from the system itself. It's most naturally defined in the term of the state relation to its other states, yeah. So that would be syntactically, yeah. So syntactic is very unique, I think, yeah. Yeah, so that would be the nice one actually, the part that one. So in here's what I want to say that we already discussed and try to understand about the philosophy of the algorithms, yeah. So hopefully what I say, what I explain with you, you can keep, and then you can understand, not instantly, but I think you need some iteration to understand about it, and then do some computationalisms, yeah. Okay, any question for this for this discussion from you? Okay, if not, I think I will explain with you. I would like you to do one activity for next week. Yeah, for the next week, I would like based on your group. I think your existing group, if I'm not wrong. Please, let's say you choose one of the existing algorithm. it's up to you. The traditional algorithms, or maybe algorithm in the machine learning, in the deep learning, or in the artificial intelligence. What I want to you is, please give me your talk or your idea. What exactly the algorithm do? Yeah. For example, when you, I want to say that like this one. If you say that, okay, sir, I will pick a k-means algorithms. In the first place, I would like you to explain how the k-means works. Yeah. And then after that, give some explanation about the philosophy behind the k-means. The philosophy in the k-mean is been like, okay, so I think the k-mean is like, the cognition is like this one. The way of the thinking is like, we want to, divine the group of data into k for some things, yeah, that reflected something that happened, yeah. And then the computation is about the method that the use of this one. So in the easy way, it's like you try to identify and define which part of the algorithm is cognition, which part this algorithm is execution or task. Yeah, that's enough. You doesn't need to explain more detail. Just in that time. But please state, or you can select simple algorithms. Yeah, if you want to challenge yourself using the complex algorithm, it's okay. But I believe even a simple or complex algorithm actually is same, yeah, because the cognition is there and the execution is there. Yeah, so you can define it into the algorithms or maybe in the source code. Yeah, so you can do that one, and then we will discuss later on for the next weeks about it, and then hopefully you can. My target is you understand about this concept. Yeah, so the computationalisms and then the cognitions. Yeah, in the algorithms. Yeah, so if you understand that one, I think the philosophy is already in your mind. Yeah, okay, hopefully you understand about this task. So next week hopefully you can present to me about it, and then we discuss more deep about it next week. Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you very much. Any question for today, please, if you have any question?
I have a question.
Okay, please.
For next week assignment, we need to create a presentation?
Yeah. So you just for example, search the algorithm into the Google. You take a look about how the algorithm works, yeah, and the process and the step, and then you define. Sir, I think this is the cognition. The cognition is about the k-mean is about classifying the object of data into something. So you can say that one, and then the step is consists of this step, yeah. For example, the initiation, identifying the variable, and etc. Yeah. So I want you to present something like that.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the questions. Any question, Mother? Please.